What's going on? This is Big G from G Riders and welcome to another episode of Testing Rides. Today I'm going to be testing out the 2018 Dodge Charger GT. So new for 2018, the Dodge Charger GT is a new model, and what that really means is that it's all-wheel drive now. So they put an actual trim to the all-wheel drive Charger now, which I like quite a bit. And on the sides of the Charger, they have badges so you know which Charger you're driving. So you know how they have it on the RT, and they have it on the Scat Pack, and they have it on the Hellcats. Now the GT all-wheel drive has one on the side just like that. And there's also a new badge for all-wheel drive on the back. So if you ever see a 2018 Dodge vehicle with the 2 Dodge stripes and a 4 down the middle, now you know the car is all-wheel drive. So this car is the GT model, and this is the basic GT model, and this one has 300 horsepower and 260 foot-pounds of torque out of the 3.6 liter V6, and is all-wheel drive. To get the all-wheel drive Charger, you have to pay about $33,000, and that's with everything with destination. If you want, you know, a sunroof and things like that, you pay about $35,000. But for the most part, this car has everything you need. New for 2018, finally, the Dodge Charger has a standard backup camera and parking sensors. It's about time they did that for the 2018 Dodge Charger. All right. Let's go take a look at the interior of the vehicle and see what everything is looking like.
Welcome to the interior of the 2018 Dodge Charger GT. I'm not even going to talk about the interior much on this car because it's the same comfortable, functional, and pretty decent quality interior that Dodges have been using on the Charger for the last 3 years or so. I really like this. This is honestly one of my favorite interiors, even though it's the cloth interior. Not a big fan of leather, but that's just me. So the big news about the 2018 Dodge Charger GT's interior is the simple fact that it has the performance pages like you get on a Hellcat or an SRT product. So you can adjust your drive modes. This car also has a built-in launch control where you can adjust where you want the car to launch at. I can't demonstrate it on this car because this car is brand new, and to do the launch control system, the car has to have at least 500 miles on it, and I have not been able to get that many miles on this car. You also get your 0 to 60 timers. You also get your lap timers. You get your 0 to 100, and then 100 to 0, then 60 to 0. All those type of functions in the performance pages on this car, and I think it's a really cool addition to the all-wheel drive Charger. It just makes it a little bit more fun, more interesting to play with. But overall, this interior, just like all the other interiors before, it's a really nice interior. It's really comfortable, really good quality for not having the leather. But let's go ahead and jump right into the driving portion because that's really what this car is about.
Alright, welcome to the 2018 Dodge Charger GT driving portion. Let's see how this bad boy drives. First thing getting into this vehicle, just from driving the Dodge Charger RT recently, is this one is not that bad at all. Because this car is all-wheel drive, grip is always there whenever you need it. And when you're just cruising along, it disengages the front diff and just cruising in rear-wheel drive, so you get some decent fuel economy. But it doesn't get as good as like a regular rear-wheel drive SXT because it does weigh significantly more. So this vehicle does have the Pentastar V6 with 300 horsepower, and it goes 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, which is not bad considering this car is about 4,000 pounds, and this car is not very low to the ground. Because this car is not low to the ground, but all-wheel drive, it still surprisingly corners pretty nice. See, not bad at all. It comes out of corners pretty hard. One other thing that this car does differently than the RTs, I don't know if it's like the programming with the V8 or something like that, but this car downshifts a lot more aggressively. It's still kind of sluggish compared to where all the other competitors kind of in this type of car is, but it's still pretty good. So like I'm gonna downshift now a couple gears. That's not bad at all, but just like I said in the RT video, this 8-speed ZF transmission is on point. This thing shifts quickly. This thing shifts gears before you even think about shifting gears because it's that good. It's always ready to go. And then when you take it out of sport mode, put it in automatic mode, and you're just cruising along on the highway at 60 miles an hour or so, it becomes a quiet, comfortable cruiser. The seats are nice, and the seats have decent support. Like, they're not anything special. Like I said about the RT, when you're going around the corners pretty hard, they don't hold you in place, but this car is not really meant to hold you in place like that. This car is more of the comfortable daily driver. It has the all-weather ability with the all-wheel drive here, and that's kind of what this car is. I'm sitting here I've been thinking about kind of what cars competes with this, because this is a full-size all-wheel drive sedan. There's only a couple of competitors. Like if you want to kind of throw in stuff like the Fusion Sport or something like the Subaru Legacy, those cars are nowhere near as exciting or fun to drive as this car is. So this car definitely doesn't have the lowest center of gravity ever, but it still handles pretty good despite that. So I'm talking about kind of some things I like about this car. What are some things I don't like about this car? To be honest with you, that is not a V8. Back when the all-wheel drive Chargers first came out, they came in both V8 and V6. So I would love to drive an all-wheel drive RT Charger with the ZF 8-speed transmission, or maybe even like something like an all-wheel drive Scat Pack. That'd be pretty awesome. So this car is kind of alone when it comes to the $30,000 all-wheel drive, fun, sportier, but full-size cars. There's only one other full-size cars that comes in all-wheel drive, and that's the Buick LaCrosse. Yes, this and the Buick LaCrosse are considered full-size sedans, and that's the only one. That's the only other one that comes in all-wheel drive. Both the Subaru and the Fusion are both considered mid-size cars. Yes, they are kind of full-size, but they're considered mid-size cars. But because of that, this is the only car in this type of class like this. So I would say this is the best because it's the only one. One thing that I don't like about just the Charger in general, in fact, is the backseat space. So this car is a full-size sedan, and there's not a whole lot of room behind me. And of course, I'm a big guy. You guys already know that. 6 feet tall with 300 pounds. But I don't have to have the seat back that far, and yet there's still not a whole lot of room. But you know, who cares? Most people aren't as tall as me, and most people are not going to put the seat back as far as I am. But for the most part, this is a fun to drive, very comfortable, great looking, full-size all-wheel drive sedan with some good power, some decent fuel economy, and some cool features. Like, I haven't seen other cars this size that has, you know, the 0 to 60 timers and shows you how much power you're using from the engine and what your current speed is and all types of crazy stuff. This car is this is a great car. I've always liked all the Chargers. Every time I drive a Charger, I enjoy it a lot, no matter if it's the SXT or the RT or whatever. So if you're looking for a comfortable, great looking, fun to drive, all-wheel drive muscle car, it's not a really muscle car, but it's considered a muscle car technically, look no further than the 2018 Dodge Charger GT. If you like this video, hit me with a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Instagram, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.